My girlfriend wants to merge our finances and share our income and spend what is left after essentials. I earn 7 times more than she does, and if I am honest, I am questioning my relationship. So here is the deal. I am 25 and my girlfriend is 22. We have been together for a little under 3 years and have been living together for a few months. My girlfriend takes college classes and works part-time. I finished college 2 years ago, quickly got hired by the company I did my internship at, and within a year I got a promotion and a large pay raise, and I am now making roughly $150K a year, while she makes $20K a year. Now she moved in with me a few months ago into the place I bought, so I pay nearly all the costs: mortgage, electricity, water, etc. The only thing she pays herself are non-essentials like Spotify, phone bill, Netflix, and so forth. Now recently we got into a huge fight where she demanded we pool our money together and spend what is left after essential costs together, whereas currently I pay basically every essential in my own shit, use a bit to enjoy myself, and put the rest into my savings. Now she seems to be jealous I got a lot more to spend, which is not really true, since after monthly costs I put the majority in my savings account. In my eyes, she already gets an easy ride, and honestly she is just shit with the money she does have. She spends it on crap like stupidly expensive clothes and then complains she is broke at the end of the month. So, what do? I hate to put money in the way of our relationship, but if I am honest, I am questioning my relationship, as there is no way I am going to let her essentially spend my salary on stupid shit. Best comments. I too would like a free 65K plus a year. So does my savings account. Pay off the house or invest. Do not ever let her make mortgage payments or give you money for that. That can have some legal implications. Relationships die or thrive on 4 main viewpoints. 1. Kids. Do you want them? How many? How do you raise them? 2. Religion. Are you compatible, or do you have opposing views? 3. In-laws. How do you handle them? 4. Finances. The big kahuna. Biggest reason for divorce and conflicts within marriage. You need to have common goals. It's inevitable that one might be a saver and the other more spendy, but can you compromise and work together? I am currently saving up my money for the final payment to pay of my property. That is currently what I am focused on. After that, I will likely use a portion of my savings and new income for investments or buying properties to rent out in order to have a constant stream of income aside from working. 1. Yes. 3 or 4 probably. 2. I am a Catholic in name only. She is a Muslim in name only. So essentially, we are both pretty much atheists or agnostic. 3. My in-laws are good people, and I get along really well with her dad and sister specifically. 4. This is honestly the part that worries me a lot. As for her job, she is just finishing up her education and then she is planning on working in that field. Marriage is not yet on the horizon though, but if that becomes a thing, a prenup is something I will insist on. That she grew up Muslim was an important point. They have pretty specific views on how relationships between men and women work. Yeah, but she is not practicing and neither is most of her family. Sure, she obviously got the cultural influences, which in the long term I am fine with. I am not opposed to me making the money and such and her taking the stay-at-home mother role. The thing is, we are not at that point yet. I am not her husband. I am not the father of her children, and I am not her sugar daddy, and if we are being fair here, in our relationship and how it is arranged, she is already being taken care of to begin. Update number 1. So, there are so many comments I am having a hard time keeping up with it. If I don't respond, know that I am trying to at least read your comment. I just want to thank everyone for their responses, from the ones who yell gold digger to the ones who take a middle ground approach. Even those who yell about MGOW, men going their own way, or something, and those who are of the opinion I need to give her all my money because of a pink tax or something. All advice is appreciated and gives me an extra light to view this in. Update number 2, 25 days after the first post. I figured since the post sort of blew up 3 weeks ago, and people requested me to make an update to tell them what I ended up doing. Well, here goes. I realized, in part thanks to some good advice I had gotten, there was more that was bothering me other than the financial part. Thing is, when thinking to myself in the next few days, I felt myself combing over every little detail of our relationship and quickly realized I was putting in way more than what I got back. No, I am not saying I am some perfect saint, but I do think I deserve someone who appreciates what I already do, especially when what I already do so vastly outweighs what she did in our relationship. Also, a big one was the apparent maturity gap between the two of us. which I looked over with my rose-tinted in love glasses. Whereas I have changed as a person from who I was when we started dating, she is still pretty much the same identical person, and without trying to badmouth her, that is a person you can be without any issues when you between 15 and 20, not when you are in a committed relationship, thinking about having kids at some point, managing your own finances and planning for the future. This argument about finances brought up a whole load of other issues for me, and honestly, I sort of started to dread what in my mind looked like me being expected to fund a lifestyle I from the ground up do not agree with. I realized I was losing my own self-worth by accepting this sort of stuff, and I realized the fact we had an argument about my money and her demanding to spend half of it made me feel like a glorified ATM. So, I ended up breaking up with her. Now the breakup was really messy and her dad was a rock during the entire thing. He calmed the situation down a lot despite him really hating what was happening, but I think he understood. I can't say I am not gutted about all of this. After all, this is someone I was with for roughly 3 years, and getting used to not having her or her family, who I was really close to, is difficult, but in the end, after the initial dust settled, I sort of feel liberated and a lot happier than I did a few weeks ago. I wish her nothing but the best in the future, and I know it has to be without me. As for me, I sort of feel like I get to start over, hopefully find someone a lot more suited to me in the future, but I won't be actively looking for me, as honestly being single after such a long time in a relationship feels nice. I get to focus what little free time I have on myself, which is something I have not been able to do for a long time. I get to indulge in my hobbies properly and so forth. Anyhow, I want to thank everyone for their advice, and if I was rude to anyone, I am sorry, but at the time I was in a shitty emotional position, but I am doing a lot better now. So whether you figured I was a douche and completely disagreed with me, or whether you think I was a good fella and figured I was right, or somewhere on the extremes or in the middle, thanks for your advice.